Well, let's split the difference, and we'll say that you guys actually make better time than you expected. You come up to the road, which, as we established, has sort of like campsites nearby it. And at this point, everyone decides that it's probably for the best that they camp here instead of pressing onwards, someplace where it might be really difficult to set up camp. So you guys can. I think everyone did beat a 4 at least, except except for Connor.
No, he re-rolled and got a 4.
Oh, he re-rolled and got us. Okay, cool. So yeah, so everyone succeeded. Everyone's feeling fine, no fatigue. And as you guys set up camp, it's a little bit difficult because a lot of the other people who are camping in this particular spot along the road are common born, and Bian is not interested in sharing. So she does go up to we'll say it is what looks to be a family of weasels, and tells them that she is requisitioning this space for their campsite and that they'll have to move on down the road. But then, yeah, you guys have the place to yourselves if you let that go down. It sounds like no one cares.
Yeah, that's less people stab us in the back.
Works for me.
It would be up to Connor to oppose her here.
Yeah,
She's not going to listen to me.
I mean, we can start the revolution now if you want.
Yeah, finally!
Today's the day.
Wait, no, Connor's actually our best fighter. Oh, God, he's beating us.
Hey.
Okay.
I'm egotistical enough to think I could still take Connor. What's Connor going to do with his ambidexterity if I rip the weapon out of his hand?
Very true, very true. He'll just beat you with both hands.
Haha.
Also, clarification that if I disarm somebody, the weapon drops at their feet. I can't throw it.
Gotcha. Good to
Well,
know.
if you're empty-handed, I believe you can take it for yourself.
The disarm roll. Hold on here. Let me just click this. Ignore the roll, but disarm. A disarmed weapon lands at the target's feet. The target must perform a ready action to pick the weapon up off the floor. The rest of the disarming rules are just, if you're using a weapon to disarm somebody, you have to get a number of successes based on the size difference between weapons.
Yeah, I think to wrest it away is something different, but let's not worry about that.
Yeah, so in my disarming phase is now not hurling weapons across the fields. They just drop at your feet and you have to action economy.
Well, before we put Connor up against the wall, I guess we're resting for the night.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. It seems to be uneventful. If you guys have any questions for Bian and her sidekick Emilio, you're welcome to ask them during your joint stay together. But if not, the rest of the night is going to pass uneventfully, and we can continue north following the trail.
Yeah, I could ask them, how did they get onto this trail? How do they know that they're following a necromancer? What was their evidence?
Bian doesn't want to talk to you, but Emilio will. He'll say, well, apparently these attacks have been cited. This is not the first. The one that you described is not the first. There have been sightings of rumors of undead, and several other farms and small villages, hamlets really, have been attacked as well. At first, most of these reports were chalked up to the fallout from the war, of course, and there are many innocents who have not made it or have fallen to ill fortune due to that as well. But more and more concerning reports were coming in. Finally, it was our family home was what exactly is this? So she's not really
Targeted.
like a blood. They weren't targeted. So she's not like blood related, right? She is a knight in the service of this house.
Right.
She's a bear, presumably.
Still gives her nobility and bearing, and she's associated with them, but she's not their family exactly, yeah.
Exactly, right? So this is a circumstance where there was a public outcry. The townsfolk were being restless, and they did not have a lot of people to depend on because many of the soldiers, many of the knights had decided to join the war effort as generals or leaders of troops. For some reason, Bian was not one of them, and perhaps, according to Emilio, because of this this feeling that she had to do something, she took these rumors to heart and decided that she was going to discover the source of them, to find this necromancer that was terrorizing the countryside, and to stop their evil machinations. I don't know why I'm very froggy today. So he says that in their investigation, they came across a few other places that were attacked, and all of these places said basically the same thing, that there were zombies. Zombies were attacking in the middle of the night, leaving almost no survivors.
I see.
Connor will ask Madame Brina how long they've been on this trail.
I wonder.
Well, set out not a week prior. Perhaps it was 5 days, I believe.
And what is it that the survivors say happen after the attack? All the zombies simply get up and walk away?
Well, those that did survive hid themselves fairly well. Many of them in storehouses, or we found one who had had run out and hidden in the field for 2 days before creeping back to witness the carnage that they wreaked upon his home. But yes, apparently after everyone in evidence is killed, these monstrosities simply drift off in search for who knows, probably more victims to terrorize.
See, but they're not necessarily snatching up the bodies and expanding, it seems. Is that correct?
Bien humps and says, who can know the motivations of a sick and diseased mind, one that would meddle with such unholy forces? But Emilio is a little more thoughtful and says, no, that is a fairly good point. Whatever their goal, it would appear to just be random chaos. As near as we can tell, all of the people who were attacked were either escaped with their lives or were killed. None have been taken. Their bodies were all left in evidence.
See, so there's some alternative motive here than but his own power and increased control. I suppose we will only find out the motive once we find the person.
I do hope so, says Emilio, seeming a little bit unnerved at the notion of finally catching this person that you're chasing. But, yeah. Okay. All right. So, the next day you awaken to the sounds of travelers. Hold on. Go. Okay. All right. Yes. The sounds of travelers headed west. When you peek out of your tent, you can see that they seem hurried. One of the wagons that they're carrying drops a bundle off. It lands on the ground, and there is one of the drivers seems to notice that it's happened, but does not slow. In fact, you realize that they seem to be in a bit of a panic, racing westward. But
So
if
they had to swallow something there, huh?
We're going
so-
to catch them.
They're taking off. You could definitely catch up with them. You could also check out the bundle, or you could just keep following the trail. Lael is already up and on his feet and says that he's picked it up on the far side of the road. It seems like they're just cutting a straight line due north.
Well, let's first check out this bundle.
Okay. The bundle looks like a hastily prepared stack of rations and foodstuffs.
Ooh.
Not all of it is well wrapped and contained, and probably wouldn't be very edible now that it has landed on the street.
I'll be the judge of that.
5-second rule.
Yeah.
5-second rule.
It's
Okay.
the Middle Ages. We don't even know what refrigeration is.
That's
All right, he has a high body.
Okay, in which case, consider this is probably 3 days of herbivore rations for one person.
Oh.
I guess that would be a lot, right? Herbivore rations are pretty large.
Which one of us is the herbivore?
I am.
Well, here you go.
Water.
Free food. For some reason, people
Speaking
thought
of-
this was bad because it touched the ground. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean,
It was made on the
Dan
ground.
sleeps in Dan sleeps in the garbage. Do you think he cares?
It comes from the earth.
I mean, this food was made in the ground.
None of us were necessarily carnivores, right?
I like the logic. It was made
that
in
correct?
the ground.
I mean, Madame Bien is a carnivore.
Well, I mean, we still had 2
Pretty
days
sure.
of travel
I
I
don't
want to
know.
account for food for, so I'm probably out of it. I got 4 more carnivore rations, which I think only I can eat. Well, maybe Connor could too, so,
No, I got my own food.
Okay. In that case, I'll go ahead and restore 2 more. There we go. So people's food have been taken care of.
Bears
all-
are omnivores.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. I mean, I guess honey, right? That's a... Anyway,
That's a stereotype, yeah.
yeah, right?
But
All
bears
bears
are
are
omnivores. They'll eat anything.
No, I said
Yeah,
the honey.
I mean, they
Honey is a stereotype. We're
berries
all
and
Winnie the Poohs,
other
right?
berries and roots would probably be the actual thing that they usually
Oh.
eat.
Yeah, no, everybody loves honey. It's awesome.
I don't. I mean, in real life, I don't.
Oh, well, in real life.
Literally staring down a plate of food I've smothered in honey, so
Nice.
I love honey.
Nice. Hey, no judgment here. Okay, so I assume it sounds like you guys are pressing forward as you cut through to the north after less than an hour, after probably 30 minutes, you come across a road that probably joins up with the Via Salutis kind of down the road and heads north. And because it's easier travel, Bian suggests that you follow this road further. And it's not long before you find yourselves approaching a village. It seems to be a farming village. There are farmlands surrounding it. But as you get closer, you notice that there is no one tending to the fields. And in fact, those of you, I don't know if any of you have farming experience. Does any of
Potter
you have-
does.
Potter has
Potter is a
farming
farmer.
experience. Yes. That's very true. Okay. Potter will point out that it looks like these crops are overripe, that they have been left, they have not been harvested properly, and they're starting to become overgrown. And there's danger of some of these crops dying on the vine, right? As it were. So something is not right. There's an eerie silence coming from this village ahead that sets all of you somewhat on edge.
Hey,
How would you
even
like
more
to
free
proceed?
food.
Lots of free food.
We have
Yeah,
found
dog.
another target, or we have perhaps found where they inhabit. I
Well-
guess this would be a reasonable question of, hey, so things definitely feel weird. Can I identify maybe how actively weird they are right now?
Yeah. This is definitely gonna be mined, and I'll let you use supernatural as well. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
roll to hear Jason Voorhees' theme song.
exactly. You know what? Inquiry is not really what I'm thinking of here.
I mean, if you could roll the inquiry, we would just ask that person.
I guess you could just say observation.
Yeah, I guess it's just gonna be observation.
Okay, good. I'm not rolling any extra dice, but Lyle will assist me, and I'll get an extra d8, which doesn't succeed. But 2 successes total.
2 successes. Okay. You don't sense any of the dark necromantic energy. And you can tell that there are people in the village. You spot them from a ways off, but it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like they're going about work, the kind of work that you would expect to be happening in a farming village.
I'd be wary. Perhaps they have more associates.
Are there groups of children walking around 2 by 2, possibly with white hair and glowing eyes?
You actually don't see any children.
Oh my god, they've killed the children.
They killed all the children. It's far away. I mean, once you get into the village, I guess you guys going into the village? Are you going around the village?
How should we approach Connor?
Yes, let's go to the village, but be on our guard.
All right, so we're approaching guardedly. There we go.
Okay, yes. Bien says this is good. Our supplies are dwindling. We can stop here and perhaps gather more. She seems to be completely oblivious to any of the heebie-jeebie vibes that are coming off this place. But yes, as you guys walk in, you can see that there are, you notice that there are children, but they're not playing happily. They seem to be, everyone seems to have a depression or a melancholy that hangs over this town. You notice also that you see there's no men here of like fighting age. Anyone of like 12 or older, they're all women. The only male people that you come across that you pass are very, very young boys.
Hey, women can fight.
No, that's true too.
I mean, isn't that noblewoman that we're traveling with? Literally.
No, that's definitely a fair point.
The recruitment tactics may be sexist.
But sexism is rampant in Aberdepois domain. Once again, abolish the monarch.
Abolish the monarch. Okay.
Did you abolish today? I've seen very little abolition.
Yeah, Bien is watching you, Anushka. You seem to be very uppity. She doesn't trust it.
Yeah, you better watch. We outnumber you.
And now we have guns.
All right. But they're not the walking undead marching around the town sullenly waiting to attack, which is good, which means we can actually approach and ask and say, hello, we're fellow travelers. We're the travelers looking to stay the night and resupply. Could you perhaps tell us about your village? What seems to be going on around here? Everyone seems so, depressed.
Yes, the woman whose attention you grabbed is an ostrich, and she looks at you startled and she says, "I'm sorry, but you've come to the wrong place. We have nothing to spare, no lodgings. I'm afraid that I will ask you on behalf of the good people here to leave us. We've experienced much tragedy and we cannot afford any more." I'm going to assume here that Bien and Connor have not come close enough to eavesdrop on this conversation, because otherwise she probably would have said something very different. But if you were just talking commoner to commoner, then yeah, she's being brisk with you.
All right. I'll go ahead and say, what's happened here? Where is everyone? Have they been taken off for the war? Or did something happen?
She says, the war. Our men were conscripted. And then our food supplies were cut into. The army that passed through basically ate us out of our homes, and now with few people left to work the fields, our elders straining their backs to try to gather what meager supplies they can. It's not my place to complain, I suppose, but one is at one's wit's end, and there's nothing much more for us to do about it. And then they moved in, and she shudders involuntarily.
Hey.
Yeah,
I see. So things have fallen on tough times. I see. It is difficult. As an almoner myself, the best I can do is perhaps provide what little hope and aid I can to people here. Is there any assistance that you all may need while I'm here? I am a professional doctor.
She gives you a cynical laugh and says, "Great, doctor. Well, unfortunately, and actually now she's praising you because you are armored, wearing armor. So She says, "You don't look like a doctor, but no, we have all of the help that we can manage."
He doesn't look like a doctor. He dresses in a white robe, carries his staff.
Well, wait, is he wearing 2 layers of armor?
I'm technically not using robes as armor, as there is no benefit to me.
If you're wearing robes, though, they count as armor. Doesn't matter if they count as armor.
But you're
I'm
not
wearing armor
robes.
as we are after a target and in
Okay.
danger.
And
You're wearing armor.
wait, so you wander around in armor and no weapons, right?
Well, I still have
What a
your
weirdo.
staff.
My confusion is that
Well,
you're
no,
being described in two ways by 2 different people. One's describing you in plate mail, and one's describing you in white robes.
Well, no, I'm asking. I didn't realize he wasn't wearing the robes. No, yeah, if he's wandering around in plate mail, he doesn't look like a doctor. I will second. You look like a man at arms.
Yeah.
You look like a man at arms who sold his sword to buy some weed.
Yes.
Yeah. So she seems very cynical, not just towards you, but towards life in general.
Well, it's the Middle Ages. Nasty, brutish, and short.
Yeah, and things have been not so good for them. But she will say, well, doctor though you may be, we have nothing to offer you here, and I doubt you have anything to offer us. I say this for your own good. Once they
I didn't
return,
ask
they
for
will not.
anything. I'm a humble almoner. I'm offering it for free.
All right then, Father. In that case, for your own good, I recommend you take leave of us. We have we have attracted more than just hungry soldiers, I'm afraid. Our lodgings are booked, and when they return, they do not entertain visitors very well. So I would suggest you all just move along.
I see.
I'll fall in step behind Connor.
Yeah. I will go ahead and return to Connor and report their disposition so he knows what he wants to do with other people. Because he could just go ahead and say, I'm a noble, fuck all of you, I'm going to take your stuff.
That's very true.
Could. And this is Avatar territory. But no, we're going to be nice. I don't want to give Indusca more reason to rise up against any of noble houses.
Okay. I will say that I don't think that Bian shares your sensitivities. We'll say. She's trailing behind a little bit because Emilio is huffing and keep up with the rest of you. But she's going to sort of once she strides into town atop her courser, she's going to say, "I require a resupply of rations, and we'll also take your finest." Well, actually, I guess you guys are still just got on the road. You don't need a place to stay, but she does need rations, and she does begin ordering around the nearby peasantry. Are you going to try to interfere there, Connor? You're the only one here who could.
Please, madam, these people have suffered enough. Let us go and look for more, for less distressed help. Leave them to their suffering.
I'm gonna have you roll for that. Give me will. Give me negotiation. I'm gonna look for 2 successes. This isn't that important to her, but she is a little bit confused that a noble man would put the well-being of some dirt farmers ahead of her noble quest to save the world from evil.
I'm going to try to appeal to her upbringing by using my etiquette.
Oh, okay. All right. Man, look at those successes. All right.
I don't know how to spell etiquette, I know.
I'm not gonna judge you. That's a tough one. And yeah, I'm really bad with all of the French that goes on in the game, let alone the words like etiquette, which are English. So, what are you going to do?
But from the French.
But definitely from the French. Yeah, anytime you see so many T's and Q's show up. Okay, so yeah, she kind of like gives you this strange, suspicious look. But your words hit home. She recognizes that the people here are in dire need, and yeah, she says, you may be right. It does not look like they have much to spare, and we can press on a little bit further, I suppose. There are also more villages nearby, so one of them might be able to help us.
Yes.
Step lively, Emilio. We will press on from this depressing location.
There is one last thing to do while we're here. While we've gone ahead and talked with some people and at least received a slight response, I would like to ask if perhaps they've seen a deer who has passed through here recently.
That's a good question.
So that would probably be
gossip?
inquiry or gossip, yeah.
It could be inquiry if you're trying to get more out of this ostrich, or it could be gossip if you're just asking in general.
They're both the same for me. So let's go ahead and do inquiry.
Gotcha. Okay. We'll keep talking with the nice ostrich lady.
Yes. Have you perhaps heard about the bird? Would this be will an inquiry? Or mind an inquiry?
Let's do will and inquiry. She doesn't really want to keep talking to you, so this is going to be a matter of...
Yeah, I'm better at being forceful than I am at being clever.
Oh, well, that's good. I guess that kind of follows with your
and
with
you know
your
what? I'm going to
approach.
throw my personality on it because I'm just such a wonderful evangelical person. I'm bringing her slight bits of hope every now and then, just being so positive. 2 successes.
All right, 2 successes. Okay. Your tenacity is impressive, and you seem to have worn her down somewhat. She will introduce herself to you as, here we go, Elizabeth. Not Beth, Bet. Elizabeth, the widow, as she's known locally, and she says, she tells you that since their latest visitors have moved in, they haven't had, they haven't had many people stay long in the village. She believes that she saw someone pass by here, not a day prior to you. This individual was a deer, a woman who seemed to be uninterested in anything that they had to offer. She gave this deer the same general advice that she gave to you, and the deer had there was something very unnerving about her. Besides her black robes, she had large wet eyes and sort of a creepily aloof demeanor. She was not interested in spending much time here. The only thing that she asked was the location of a nearby pass known as
Serpent's Pass, home of the giant serpent.
Home of the giant, the Demogorgon.
Go fighting Demogorgons. We named our local sports team after the terrible monster that haunts the town.
The Tobias Pass. Found it. Okay.
Home of the mighty Tobias monster.
Home of the grand Tobias. No, she says that rumors abound recently that there was a battle fought at Tobias Pass. Near she can tell the avoirdupois won and pushed forward, and why anyone would want to visit the site of an abandoned battleground is beyond her notion. But this creepy individual seemed very keen to do so. She directed them east, northeast from the village. She said that it's less than a day's journey before you can find the pass. Yeah, that's what you get for your 2 successes.
Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and return to Anushka with this and go, have you heard of a place called Tobias's Pass? It ought to be very nearby within a day, and I think that's where our quarry went. And I know you must know where it is.
Well, I've heard rumors. I have it on the authority of some passing Waycliffe. All right, I will try to roll, see if I know where that is. I believe that'd be mine in academics, but I have geography.
Okay.
Do I get
Throw
this
that in
fish
there, too.
bonus because somebody did they tell you where it was or just drop the name?
They told you where it was, so you have
All
a
right.
general.
So that should
Yeah,
be
right.
so
And
that
Will
last
is also good at this stuff and can rote it to assist you as well. So
That
go
last-
ahead and take another
Yeah,
D8 too if you
that
want.
last D8 is an assist die, and this is an address, so I get to re-roll. So my favorite use kicks in.
Yeah, reroll that D4.
But yeah,
What's your favorite use?
finding addresses
Okay.
for like everything. Like
love it.
gossip is finding address.
Oh, say it's your
Yep.
favorite use of what?
Oh wait, is this academics? I think my favorite use of academics. No, my favorite use of academics is medicine. I forgot that I'm a stock character, so never mind. So ignore that.
Okay.
Sorry,
Still,
I
it
forgot
looks like
I
two
gave
successes?
all of the stock characters' favorite use of medicine, so they wouldn't screw up that first aid check.
There you go. Which is
Well,
handy.
So I have two successes with the assist.
Mhm.
So that might be enough to know vaguely where this place is. A skilled person. I mean,
Yeah.
once we get closer to it, I could probably find it.
You could definitely find it, and
Definitely.
definitely find it. So yeah.
And
So if you
let's
guys
bring
wanted
this
to check
Connor.
over there,
Yeah.
you could.
Sir Connor, I think we know where they've gone. And if they've gone to a battle recently, undoubtedly they're planning to pick it clean. If not of stuff, then of bodies.
I see. That does make sense. Does it not?
It's troubling indeed. But it will be yet another day until we get there.
I mean, it's not quite as troubling as the frontier towns being drained of able-bodied men. But whatever, you know.
That's predictably troubling.
Is it predictably troubling? I mean, one would assume that the masses of armies would have marched forward first rather than the
Maybe the whole business is terrible.
militias of towns. It
That's
seems
fair.
to me
The
when
whole
you start
business is
picking
terrible. Yeah.
picking even the old men to fight, the war is not going well. Pointedly, you've described the town as only having young men. Or
That's
the
true, right?
youngest, which means that they've already plucked out the old men to fight. Which means
Yeah.
that we're at Hitler Youth stage. That the
Right.
war is not going well for the abattoir.
No, and I don't think it is not being as easily won as they assumed it would be. Right.
Thank God
Oh,
Harmon's not
certainly.
here to see this.
Weep. Yes. Okay. Moscow, you know what you did. Okay.
Well, yeah, but that's when the
I'll
turnaround
never
happens.
apologize.
That's when the turnaround happens, and we'll start winning.
Cool. All right. So, it sounds like you guys want to investigate this pass and the Tobias Pass, and as you are preparing to take your leave of the town, Elizabeth will indicate a road that will get you closer, that will take you towards the pass. You can see that coming down that road is a wagon, and that on that wagon appears to be a group of 4 men. All of them seem to be cheetahs, in fact. And Elizabeth's already gloomy demeanor becomes even more dour, and she says, "Oh dear, you had
Yeah, that's
better
trouble.
leave."
No, cheetahs never prosper.
What now?
That's trouble. Cheetahs never prosper.
Cheetahs never prosper. No. Yeah, these
It's like
cheetah.
returned to 6 years ago.
Well, what happened 6 years ago?
Well, we just had a famously punny person in our group.
I get it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. All right. So, these cheetah seem to be in very good spirits, and I don't mean just in terms of their demeanor, but also they seem a little bit drunk. They are riding in on a wagon that looks to be loaded down with loot. And as they approach, you can see the townsfolk begin to shut themselves in their homes. And yes, the one who's driving this wagon says, like, "Good people of Silverhorn, your saviors have returned, and they need drink." And then his eyes fall on you, Connor, and the mounted Bria, and he says, "Oh, we have guests. We have been visited by nobility. What a rare treat." And his lackeys will jump off the wagon as well. And you can see that they are all armed, shoddily equipped with what looks to be scavenged avoirdupois armor and weapons, likely from a battlefield.
Yeah. Scavenged weapons, but no color.
But no
Yeah,
colors.
these are camp followers, and they have so many things now.
Well, you think they're looters? I think they're actual bandits.
Well, really the same thing, isn't it?
Well, if Sir Connor wanted to walk up and then specifically ask them, are they soldiers or where they got all these weapons, and then as nobility say, that's illegal.
Who are you and who do you serve, Connor?
He doesn't actually have authority, does he?
You mean the gift authority?
Legal
The
authority.
gift authority. Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, I mean, you're still just a noble, but you can still harass them.
You've got the noble
You can
authority.
threaten
yeah.
them with legal authority of someone else. You'll get your lawyer involved in this. That'll show.
The problem is that they're more up to date with the current situation than we are. So you try and
Yeah.
bluff them with I'm a fucking noble, I'm a knight, and they'll be like, no one's here to help you, buddy.
So, Connor, what do you want to do? Are you going to deal with these people or leave them be and go hunt down the necromancer?
He will approach them and say, "Who are you and who do you serve?"
That is a very good question. Sorry. There we go. Haha. The cheetah will approach and say, "They call me Tegliaro the Generous because I look after my own. And I serve the good people of Silverhorn." And he's going to gesture to the he's going to gesture to Elizabeth and say, "These poor, honest, hardworking folk have been abandoned by everyone else. Why, if it wasn't for us offering protection from freeloaders like you and your quite bloated military, your fat and well-fed soldiers, then, they'd be picked clean to the bone by now. Now, who do you serve, Sir Knight?"
I am Connor, the Vere de Ecrivis of Fermarouge, and I serve the Archduke of the Avoirdupois.
And I
And you,
am...
good sir, it seems to me that you have been looting from a battlefield, and that battlefield contains the bodies of other nobility whose belongings should be returned to their families. Now, do I charge you with robbery or do I strike you down now?
Ooh. All right. Bianne is on board for this now. She has dismounted and she's at your side, and she has her hand on her sword hilt, ready to rumble. And the cheetah looks at you, and let's see, what are your forces like? I mean, you and Bianne are both well. Actually, wait, did you get your armor back yet?
He's just in leathers.
Okay, but still certainly nobility. Bianne is armed to bear, haha. The rest of you look kind of like a haphazard rabble. So I get the feeling that, these guys are fairly well equipped, all things considered, even if the armor is ill-fitting. So yeah, he says, "Good sir, I'm sorry to say that your jurisdiction does not extend to these poor people. Now we are their caretaker, and we intend to defend
no
them."
jurisdiction in these lands. You will not presume to take the job of the local knights.
he's like, down with the monarchy.
Somebody
He says-
invented a Molotov cocktail.
There you go. I do need some an intimidation roll for you, I think. And BN is going to give you a bonus for just being there and being imposing. So you can take a D8. It would be will and
Body, will,
we
and
don't-
presence usually
Presence,
versus their
there
body,
you
will, and
go.
presence.
Cool. Let's do it. Okay, we're
Well,
rolling.
Potter is
2d8.
going to assist because he does have presence.
Awesome. The D8 here. And you know what? He's got his boys too, so they are going to assist as well, looking scary. All of them are drawing their weapons and looking very intimidating. So take
I'll assist.
3d8. Oh man. Double sixes. Come on, I can get that 8. I can get the 8. I got the 7.
I suppose Lael may howl and assist.
Oh, little Lael. Okay, let me see if I remember the howling rules.
He just adds an extra d12 on it right here.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So I haven't. What are you, a team player?
Nope, he's just helping. He has an extra d8.
Lael with his
Honestly,
amazing
he would
howl.
Yeah, he would probably scare people better than everyone else, but
I mean, technically, although in the fiction, I can't imagine a large, half-naked, not a large, a little half-naked Phalon wolf kid being that terrifying. One of the only people here who don't have a weapon on them, but I like it for the assist.
I
Yeah.
know he's got like a sword and shield apparently. He just no good
Oh, okay.
with them.
All right. So it looks like 4s and 5s versus my 7s. It is a noble and valiant effort, sir. But it looks like
Well, then I am
these-
going to throw in my nobility.
Okay.
Are they afraid of nobility?
I think they have to. It has to be a context thing, right? Like if you are coming against people who have no regard for nobility, I don't think you can use nobility in this case. Like nobility only carries so far as people are either believe and respect that authority or are afraid of the authority that they have to bear. And I don't think in this case, this village has been pretty much abandoned. These villagers can't put up much of a fight, and anyone who wanted to deal with this village has moved by now. Anyone of any kind of like noble authority has moved on.
I think the larger problem is that they just came back from looting the actual the actual strength of that authority, which is dead people on a battlefield.
Yeah, like if they were afraid of the legal or legal repercussions, they're already screwed because they've already broken the law. At this point, it's in their best interest to kill you guys and stash your bodies somewhere, and
Well, in
then
that case,
intimidate
I
the villagers
could
into
roll
not telling
my
anyone.
personality on this instead.
Okay, that you could do because you are brazen.
Just take the same d12. It's the same roll.
Up to you. I will roll it if you ask me to.
I want you to roll again. I'm sorry. You can still do it, but I like the drama.
Damn
Okay.
it. Well, there we go.
You're
There we
in the
go.
right, and they don't care.
And they don't care. And that means that it looks like you are all at an impasse. Either you leave, and you can just leave. They will just let you leave the village and leave the villagers to their fate. If you want to do that, you can just go. But they are staying unless you fight them.
I'd like to
Well, it's Connor's duty to protect these people. Even though they're not of his home city, they are still Aventapla.
Them's fighting words.
What was you going to say, Dan?
oh, I was gonna say I'd like to know what the name of your gang is. It might be worth joining. You got a pretty sweet operation going here.
And
wow.
later,
If you
our game's
kill
better.
Well, we call ourselves the Crimson Pack. And after the
Copyright on that.
I know. I don't know. It's probably maybe not the most inventive of gang names, but
It's
hey,
the
best name because I mean it's just kind of like we call ourselves the Crimson Pact. It's like
Wait, no,
yeah,
I'm thinking of the
yes.
Chroma, not the. Okay, Crimson's not taken. You're fine.
Right.
yeah, no, it's just of course you guys call yourselves that. Why would you call yourselves anything else?
We call ourselves the Red Hood Gang.
That's worse.
Here's our
Yeah.
leader, the Red Hood.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you taking new members or what's going on here?
I don't think the Burgundy Avengers are going to listen.
And then
Ooh,
Dan just joined
That
the gang.
stings. Yeah, like I don't know if there's gonna be a gang to join in a minute, but
No, I mean, can we talk about this or what?
we can be I'm trying to frame it because swords are drawn, but they'll say I think they're gonna brush you off. I think the leader is gonna say like sorry, but we're not accepting new members just at the moment. First, we must deal with this with the spoiled aristocracy. So, if
That
you
was
don't
just
mind.
my attempt to try and connive my way into getting closer before we started a fight, but y'all had to draw swords so quickly.
Gotcha.
Not even wearing armor, guys. Come on, gotta help me out here a little bit.
I mean, hey, listen. You know, I don't mean to dismiss it out of hand. We can roll for it if you want.
No, I would fail a roll. I was just trying.
I think I know what you were doing.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get up as close to these guys as I could.
Okay.
I'm a guy who fights with my fists and I'm bare chested. I'm not exactly the most tactically sound character here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna draw some guys out onto the.
Draw some guys out. I'm
Draw
going to
some
go
guys
ahead and just
out.
give myself a roll real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm sorry, you guys are not on the map. So there you go.
Still
You
hiding
are
behind
on
my
the-
invisible window.
We'll keep Bian out here as well. Yeah, I tried to remove the invisible window, but I can't select it. I guess whoever drew it.
Griff did, I think. It's either Griff
I
or
think
Ark. I think Griff said he did.
I'm gonna
It
clear it.
might be.
Boom!
Oh, there we go.
Nuked.
So the problem is, it's the Ark and Griff have the same color, just slightly shades
It's
different.
just slightly different, yeah. Okay, so actually, I mean, Griff just. We're about to do a quick combat here. Do you guys mind if we take another short break?
It's gotta
a
be
bathroom
short.
break?
You don't have much time.
We don't have much time. It's going to be like 2
All right,
minutes.
well then, let's do it.
Okay.